Kyle the Death Knight of Enemy here, bringing you my review for One Piece Chapter 884. And I'm sorry this review is late, guys. It's one of those things where where the manga source I normally use wasn't updating, so like I realized I had to go to another manga source or whatnot. But anyway, yeah, let's let's get into this chapter, because honestly, this chapter was pretty damn good. Like, pretty damn amazing, honestly. Like, especially like just with the whole Luffy and Katakuri fight. Like, people have said, I've said this many times before, but this one fight has the potential to go down in as one of the greatest Luffy fights ever, especially on par, definitely on par with the Rob Lucci, if not better than the Rob Lucci fight. Like, honestly, just the way it's going down with Katakuri and Luffy going against each other is already freaking amazing, and just the way in that. And just the way in that Katakuri is able to use his powers, the way he's using them in tandem with Haki as well, that's just amazing. But anyway, let's get into the fight itself, because apparently we learn in this fight that Katakuri's secret is his observation Haki, and that what he really does is what Katakuri does is he uses is that he isn't necessarily using his devil fruit in order for Luffy's punches and power in order for Luffy's powers to pass through him. It's that he's basically using his devil fruit power in order to he's using his devil fruit power in he's using his devil fruit power in tandem with his observation Haki, and he uses his observation Haki to predict what it is that Luffy's going to do, and then from there he applies his devil fruit power to basically that pretty much that specific area of his devil fruit of that's to that specific area of his body, so pretty much so that pretty much so so that Luffy can so that whatever Luffy inflicts on him is basically nullified. That's basically the gist of what it is, and yeah, and it really puts into perspective just how strong Katakuri's senses are. Because if he was able to use it to the point where he tricked Luffy into thinking he's intangible or untouchable, then it really speaks volumes about the level of focus Katakuri is able to maintain in a fight. Because if he can use both his Delphi power and Haki in tandem like that, then that is fucking insane. And what's even more crazy about this whole fight in general is that even though Luffy now knows this, it's not like it's even a weakness. I mean, yeah, Luffy was able to land a few good hits on Katakuri, whoop-de-doo, but Katakuri even said it himself that that unless Luffy can break his concentration again, he's essentially back to square one. And like, now, granted, the one thing we definitely did learn about this whole fight in general is that the one we is it's kind of one of those things where it's definitely a fight where things are easier said than done, sort of thing. And I love these fights in One Piece where even though things appear good on where even though or things appear simple on the surface, it never is going to be simple. And with Luffy's fight against Katakuri, it's definitely going to be one of those. It is definitely on par with the Rob Lucci fight, and where even when Luffy. Even when Luffy has figured out something, an even greater threat, even greater threat about the character, about the antagonist he's fighting is figured out, and as long as and that's the thing too, is that as long as it's Katakuri, unless Luffy can once again break, unless Luffy can once again break, unless Luffy can break, can find a way in order to break, in order to break, in order to break Katakuri's focus again, iron focus. It's all gonna be for naught. Like, this truly is like one of those fights where Luffy is gonna have to come up with something extra special in order, pretty much just in order to either overpower Katakuri or find a way in order to catch him off guard again. Because yeah, it is, but again, it's one of those things where it almost seems like Katakuri when Luffy really does manage to when Luffy Katakuri himself seems pretty invincible when you really think about it. And honestly, like it just kind of scares me that he like Katakuri made a passing comment in this one about how he said it is possible to do this as long as you have hockey that can in fact predict the future. And of course he was just referencing and of course he was mostly referencing observation hockey in itself. But honestly, considering how powerful Katakuri is, and just the fact that he does have his devil power, he does have an extreme focus of observation hockey, and the fact that he does have an awakening, like all these things are just stacking up, and it's really just proving, yeah, Katakuri, he's pretty fucking strong. It's not gonna be an easy one, and yeah, Luffy, you're gonna have to pull something amazing out of your ass in order to either overpower Katakuri or just or catch him off guard. One of those two for sure. But this fight in its entirety so far, it really is proving me right that I think this fight is going to go down in history as being on par with the Rob Lucci fight, or even better. I think it already is better, to be honest with you. But yeah, for sure, Katakuri versus Luffy. The way this fight's going is just amazing. Now, if I did have to say that there's a problem with this fight, or with this chapter, I would say it was the stuff with Sanji putting in Chiffon. And don't get me wrong, I do understand the purpose of showing that stuff, just to kind of show the progress of the cake and whatnot. But if, in all honesty, the only good bit of that chapter was learning that Oven is after the Straw Hats, and just seeing what Oven himself is doing right now and what he's doing in terms of going after the Straw Hats. It does kind of. It is just one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, Oven's doing this, but other than that, the whole scene with the cake, it did seem pointless. We already know what it is they're doing, but I mean, I guess if you wanted to, but other than that, yeah, it didn't really seem necessary. Other than Sanji's little line about it being about Katakuri having never lost, and his fight against Luffy going to be his first loss, kind of things. Like, yeah, it didn't really serve much beyond that, to be honest with you. But Praline, let's talk about Praline here, because Praline just saved the Straw Hats big time. Because from what we learn is that throughout Whole Cake Island, there are these sea slugs that pretty much prevent any enemy ships from escaping. Pretty much, more or less, is what I got the gist of it. And Praline, but basically singing, I think, is what she was doing, and luring all the sea slugs to her. Praline just saved the Straw Hats big time, because without those sea slugs, then the Straw Hats have an even better chance of escape. Having said that, though, like I said, it appears she's only able to keep them under her control by singing. So that just means the window open is a very limited one, depending on how long the Praline can keep this up. And depending on how Sanji and Luffy end up getting off the island, and of course this all depends on how Sanji and Luffy end up getting off the island in general, because with all the mirrors on the Sunny broken, the only other option I see is Luffy and Sanji commandeering a ship. Actually, the more I think about it, that's what's gonna. I think. Hear me out. I know I've already come up with crazy theory after crazy theory, but I think what's going to happen is Oven is probably going to catch up to the Straw Hats on a ship, like all Straw Hats that are escaping on the Sunny on a ship. And then after the cake making and after the fight with Katakuri is done, Luffy and Sanji will probably use relay in order to sneak aboard Oven's ship, and then fight. And then from there, they're gonna sneak on Oven's ship, and then from there, they're probably gonna fight. They're gonna fight their way back onto board the Sunny. Like, that's the only other thing I can think of. The only other option I have is that Luffy and Sanji are gonna escape using Sanji's I think it was Skywalk. His Skywalk. That's the only other thing I can think of. But But I don't know how long I don't know how long that Sanji can even maintain his pretty much his whole skywalking ability. So yeah, the only other option I can see here is them sneaking aboard Oven's ship and getting back to the sneaking on board the Oven ship through basically a mirror, and then sneaking on board Oven's ship through pretty much a mirror or Brulee's mirror world, and and then from there just sneaking on and then fighting through Oven and fighting the guards and whatnot on the ship, and then getting back on board the Sunny through that. And speaking of Brulee, I really have to and to end things off, I will say this: Brulee, she is turning into an annoyance, and just like as far as Brulee is in this, as far as Brulee is concerned, like in the beginning, I will admit, Brulee, she definitely had a bit of intimidation going for her. I will say that much. But now, Brulee's just like there. Like Brulee really, I think, has no purpose in the story anymore. I think Goda is just kind of keeping her around as kind of a plot device and running her. Oh hey, Brulee's here. We're probably gonna be useful later. So yeah, it's like Brulee herself just kind of has like a son on her saying please, use me. So yeah, but yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I have for this review. Like I said, I'm sorry it was a little big, but better late than never. And I'll see you later, guys. Death Night of Enemy, signing off.